You make your shitty programs.
And thank you very much for that.
Teams play each other, then it's the second, no, third.
I think it should have been explained. Maybe even a television brief by Ross Oakley himself on a prime time slot.
Good heavens
Explaining the
above.
final eight.
The whole store.
I'm going to out-microphone you here. Now, we were wondering if you have any idea how the final system is going to work this year in the football.
Oh, wouldn't have the faintest idea.
I think you could be better employed by explaining to people on this microphone rather than trying to sell what you've got behind you here.
Oh, well, this is an easier job than trying to convince people what the final's going to be about, so...
No, third and fifth team that plays together.
Give a man enough rope and he'll eventually hang himself. You've done it beautifully. That is, you've hung yourself.
Go the Hogs!
When it's all said and done, I suppose that's what it's all about. The final system, well, I think we all understand it, don't we, Sammy? Anyway, let's go through to Saturday's big game at Victoria Park, one of only 3 matches there this season. Collingwood versus Fitzroy, one of the richest clubs in the AFL, versus the side that has really fought hard to survive this year, and good luck to the Roys, they've done a great job. Let's have a look at the Collingwood newcomers this year. Of course, there is one that is the big name there, right at the very top, Nathan Buckley, a lot of people say already the favourite for the Brownlow medal, Stephen Ryan, the former Richmond player, and John Hassel, who's been a good player in recent times, who comes up through the reserves there. Collingwood, this is the 21 that they've got on the coming into the side. Monkhurst, Buckley has been named as a ruck rover. A lot of people say he may end up playing at centre half forward. And Craig Kelly's joined us now over at the bar with Trevor Marmalade. Quite an appropriate place to catch you too, Ned. You're out still with your shoulder. What about the Pies' chances this year?
Yeah, they're looking good. Obviously, Nathan's been under a fair bit of pressure over the summer. He's certainly performing well, and he's looking good. So he'll be a great player for us this year. All
right, well, let's have a look at the new players for Fitzroy coming into the Lions lineup for 1994. And here they come. Fitzroy, no, we're going to Fitzroy anyway. Reezy, I'll ask you a question while we've got you there, mate. So before the team comes up, it's been a magnificent performance by Fitzroy to keep in the AFL this year. How's it been for the players?
Well, it's pretty difficult, but the boys have got through and we're the start of another game. It's actually good to see Doc Wilden and all his friends over there tonight too, so it's good to see they can make it in the cage over there.
Is there any truth in the rumour, Paul, that Fitzroy had to clear most of the club to keep paying you?
No, that's not true at all, Trevor. Purdy went years ago.
And what about this Saturday's game? Now, I believe you have some insight into why Craig Kelly's not playing.
Well, I spoke to Purdy today, actually, and there's nothing actually wrong with Ned's shoulder. He's just too scared to play on me, so that's why he's not actually
Purdy,
playing.
I mean, if I was playing, Purdy always picks up the slower, older players, and then I get the younger, quicker ones, so that's just a load of rubbish.
All right, well, let's have a look at some of the new players who will be lining up for Fitzroy in this big game at Victoria Park. Only one player, Trent Cummings, a 19-year-old from Central District, a half-forward player. And, well, let's have a look at the Fitzroy lineup. They lost a lot of players to Richmond. They've gained Hogg at full forward there, Kieran Sporn next to him from Essendon. And when you look through that lineup, fellas or Sam, what do you think?
Well, I wanted to ask Paul, do you think Hogg's a fair swap for Alistair Lynch?
Well, he wasn't actually swapped for Alistair Lynch.
No, well, I mean, is he a replacement?
Different sort of player, Sam. I think he's going to be very valuable for us. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, Lynchy was probably one of the best 2 or 3 players last year, so you can't replace those guys. But Hoggy, he'll be a tremendous asset for us, no doubt.
Now, I believe that Robert Shaw's wife's in the audience here tonight too. Gail, the new Mrs. Yabby Jeans, I understand. She's now picking the side then at Fitzroy. Gail, are you there? How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Now, did you pick this side?
Did I?
Yeah, well, no. That's what, you know, the boys down at Fitzroy reckon you have to be in suite with you before Robert gives them the nod.
More so the girls.
We have to go around and actually wash the dishes for Gail and mow the lawns and everything. That's how we get a game.
All right, well, the other game, Adelaide versus Carlton. Well, good luck to the Blues going over there to play against Adelaide. The boys are really revved over there because of the, well, let's pardon the pun, because of the Grand Prix. Let's have a look at the new players for the Adelaide Crows. Only one new player coming in, Tony Hall, and what a great acquisition he's been to the club, coming from Hawthorn, as we look at the 21 pick for Adelaide.
And news just in, apparently official, that due to the Crows' great performance at Waverley during the Foster's Cup Grand Final last Saturday night, free of charge, they've been given a float in next year's Gay Mardi Gras. So that's
you're tough on these Crows.
No, I love the Crows. I love the Crows. I want to show you this. This is the Crows. Now look at that. That is a beautiful thing. There's a little flashing emblems. These are available at selected Kmart stores. These for just about $5, and you can get them in any team colour. But this is the Crows, and I love them.
Sam, you're not insinuating that the Crows need to buy a heart?
Last week they played like old Sheilas last week.
Well, that's
no
a good thing
reflection
there,
on old
Sam.
Sheilas.
It's a beautiful thing there. It saves you the trouble of wearing a sign saying, "Smack my head in."
OK, let's have a look at the Blues, the team that'll go over and try and smack the Crows' head in this week. Of course, Stephen Kernahan, the former great South Australian, not there. But let's have a look at some of the new players for the Carlton side. Troy Bond, who's going home to his hometown, but he won't be greeted the way he left. He's from Port Adelaide, was their best and fairest player last year there. So a great player. He's an Aboriginal rover and the cousin of Gavin Wanganeen. So if he can be half as good as his cousin, he'll be a great acquisition. James Cook, the Tasmanian boy who came over in 1991 in the draft, kicked 10 in the reserves last week, only a 20-year-old. Matthew Allen from the under-19s, and Barry Mitchell, of course, who had such a hard year last year at Collingwood and now is fitted in nicely at Carlton. There's the side. Boys, what do you think of the Blue Baggers, Tim?
Well, just sort of thinking then, I wonder which commentator will be the first one to say that James Cook is playing with great endeavour, Eddie.
Exactly. He's a real discovery, apparently.
Keep it going. Well, it's a very tough...
take the wind out of his sails.
It's a very tough...
But the Blues may be going into uncharted waters, you never know.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. It's going to be a very tough game going over there and playing at Adelaide after they've come off that loss, that despicable, was that the word you used before?
No, debacle.
Debacle. Where did you find that word from?
Where'd you get that word?
It just come out.
Don't tell me they're writing... Dougie, don't tell me they're writing debacle on the walls at the Footscray station these days, because that's where you do most of your reading, isn't it? In fact, Dougie said once...
As years go by, Ed.
Dougie, of course, when he released his book last year, said that he's now written one book more than he's actually read, but...
Or coloured in.
OK, let's find out what they feel about the Victorian sides coming over, particularly the Blues, as we cross live now to Matthew Robin over in Adelaide. G'day, Matthew, how are you?
Good, thanks, Eddie. How are you?
How are you copping all this stuff over there in Adelaide?
Oh, it's always difficult, but, you know, I guess the first game of the year coming up this season, Carlton's going to be a tough assignment, but I think with the crowd behind us and the support that we've got in the state, we should do quite well on Sunday.
No trouble with the crowd behind you. Of course, you've got increased security over there to stop Adelaide Crows fans tipping over Victorian cars with the number plates on, apparently.
I've heard something like that could happen, but we're a lovable bunch over here, and that will certainly won't happen.
Now, Matthew, can you guarantee there'll be no violence in the crowd?
I'll guarantee it to you, Sam. If you stay out of the ground, there'll be no violence.
Thank you very much, Matthew.
Matthew, it's Tim Watson here. Can you do me a favour? Actually, someone scratched my car on Saturday night out at Waverley Park. Now, it wouldn't have been an Essendon supporter. It must have been one of the 2,000 Adelaide supporters who were there. Can you just sort of line a few people and see if they've got some blue enamel under their fingernails? It can't be too hard for you to find them over there.
I'll have a look, Tim. We'll find out the 2,000 that went over for you, and we'll find the culprit, and I'll line him up with you.
Matthew,
I really appreciate that.
Just yourself, of course, you've had an injury, a bad injury run since you went home and left Hawthorn there. How are you going? You're still a few weeks away?
I'm probably still, I guess, probably 7 to 8 weeks away from playing.
Yep.
I'm back on the track at the moment. I've probably been doing a couple of weeks fairly solid training now. Not doing any competitive work yet, but I'll probably start that in a couple of weeks' time and perhaps look at 4 or 5 good, solid competitive weeks of training under my belt and maybe look at resuming about the middle of May.
Matthew, Jason Dunstall, how are you?
Good, thanks, Jason. How are you?
Mate, I haven't spoken to you for a while, ever since you burnt us a couple of years back. I'd like to ask you one question, though. How's Hawley been going over there? I think he's going to be a tremendous asset for the Crows. I think it'll take a lot of pressure off Tony Modra. How's his pre-season form been?
His pre-season form's been very good, Jason. I'm sure you'd know, and a lot of players would know, that Tony's such a professional athlete, and he's fitted into our side very, very well. Obviously, he'll play most of his football on the forward line. And the comment about taking a bit of pressure off Tony Modra is certainly right. I think we perhaps struggled for more than one goal-kicking avenue last year, and I think...
Matthew, just to cut in there, he's had injury problems this week. He hasn't been out on the track. He's got an injured hand and an injured calf, I believe.
That's news to me, Eddie.
Tony Modra hasn't been out, apparently, yes.
Oh, right, yeah, no, Tony's been, I think, copped a kick in the leg last week in the grand final, and he was out doing a bit of training last night, and he's been named in the squad, so we'll just see what happens after tomorrow night's training.
And Matthew, has the coach been able to maintain his presence of mind since last Saturday?
Oh, I think so. Obviously, to lose a grand final, whether it be night or day, is always going to be disappointing, especially because it was our first one. But I think, you know, Graham's certainly got our focus back on this week's game, which is Well, I guess it's for us, it's a fairly important start to the 1994 season.
And any danger that you'll actually play a couple of games before the turn of the century?
Well, I'd like to think so, Sam.
Thank you very
Matthew,
much.
we'll leave you with a shot of some of the Victorian supporters who you can look forward to seeing this year. The boys from the Moorabbin enclosure, they're going to be back in town. Well, there you go. Football, a real thinking man's sport. We'll be back with more of the teams after this break.
It's as Melbourne as a shopping spree.
Sipping style and Chapel Street.
Cheering on at Flemington. Now picnics in the sun. Congratulations, Sam. You're a Melbourne original. Congratulations, Sam. You're a Melbourne original.
7 o'clock weeknights on 9. Join Glenn and Nikki for the game all Melbourne loves to play.
Congratulations, Sam.
She's here. She's here. She's here. She's here. Boo. Oh, it's good to see you. I'm starving. How about dinner? This is new.
Here we are, Thomas. Go-cat in a can.
Oh, what the heck? You only live 9 times. This is great. Wow, delicious.
The Mercedes that's fresh, spirited and individual. New C-Class. Next time you visit the bathroom, take a good look around. You'll find the built-up scum of bathroom plaque. Thick Domestos clings to surfaces better to thoroughly remove dirt, mould and bathroom plaque, bringing your bathroom back to life, no matter how long it's been neglected. Thick Domestos, the best bathroom plaque cleaner for ages.
And it gives me great pleasure to christen this ship Methuselah. God bless her and all who sail in her, and keep them safe.
Well, we couldn't waste the Sir James on a boat, could we?
The hottest movie of the year, Basic Instinct, premieres soon on 9.
But it seemed like a good idea. Seemed like a good
Yes, the kid, Dermott Brereton. What an impact he's made on the AFL scene already without even pulling on a Sydney Swans at Guernsey in anger, really. He hasn't even made it out onto the ground. Well, let's cross now to Sydney and the man himself, Dermott Brereton, on the line. How are you, Dermy?
I'm very well, thank you, Eddie. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate. Now, how's the foot? Apparently you had a bruised arch, is that correct?
No. Totally free of any foot injuries whatsoever.
The 7 weeks, what are you doing with yourself, mate?
What do you reckon, Eddie? I'm training and got to be around the club and try and earn a few bob.
And how is the hip and associated injuries, Dermott?
Hello, Sam. Sammy, I'm very well. And one thing I will say, Sammy, I notice your preoccupation with the gay Mardi Gras. And just during the week, I had this handed in to me by somebody saying, property of Sam Newman, big boy. And inside, it was found on the night of the gay Mardi Gras. And inside, Sam, we have your size here and a nice little pair of fishnet G-strings, which you must have worn to the parade as well. So I'll return them back to you, Sam.
Sam, they're not the handbags that you used to have then at Geelong, are they?
No, we've got rocks in them.
Oh, it's got cats on the side of it.
You idiot, Dermott.
You moron.
Now, how is all that going up there? Is the wife up there with you?
Yes, my lovely wife is up here.
And Dermy, just getting off that, we better stay on the subject, the fine, because Tony was most upset about that, and so were the shopkeepers at Double Bay. Are you going to appeal against the fine and the suspension?
Oh no, the procedure with the fine, Ed, is that they give you written notification saying please respond within 7 days, and I got my notification 1 day after that 7 days had elapsed. So I then forwarded by fax on Monday a written scenario of why I made certain statements.
All right, so is there any word on whether you're going to be fined or not, or have you copped the $2,000 fine for your comments, rather, on National 9 News?
I'm not allowed to say.
Okay, fair enough.
How are you getting on with Ron Barassi, Dermott?
Oh, well, you'd know Ron Barassi very well, Sammy. And,
yeah, I know. I'm getting on with him. How are you getting on with him?
That's good. No, I get on very well with Ron. He loves the game, and I'm trying to get out there and play it. So that's how we go.
Kid Jason, how are you?
Yes, very well, thank you, Piggy.
Terrific. I knew you'd get in early.
By
Look,
the way,
you're,
Jamie, what do you think about him knocking off the vice-captaincy, the tip-top ad, and, of course, now your seat here in Channel 9?
Oh, he's on a roll. You know, they had to put in a Pizza Hut out at Waverley now that Hawthorn have moved out there, because Piggy goes past and gobbles a few down on the way out.
Dermy, on a more serious note, you're proving to be of great value to Sydney, as you were to us over the last couple of years. Just one thing I would like to know.
Just stay away from the footy and talk about me, if you don't mind.
Okay. While you were under suspension, and the first week this week going up to Brisbane to play, obviously very important for Sydney to get off to a good start. What's your role going to be? Are you going to go up there?
Are you going to finish this answer?
Or are you going to stick to surfing?
You're a bigger moron than Newman, Piggy.
Now, Dermy, you're doing a bit of surfing. You got the nice tan happening there, or they just got more expensive
I've still
makeup?
got the big stitch mark there in the side of the 3KZ where somebody got dumped on me. Sorry?
That's a hawk, mate. Which disco was that mark? It wasn't surfing, mate, was it?
Oh, you're fantastic, Hawk. Remember the time you tried to glass me after one of the state games?
I watched on.
All right, well, let's have...
But I stomped you.
Dermy, stick with us, because we're going to have a look at the teams now, of which you're not a part of, unfortunately, for the next 7 weeks. But let's have a look at the new players for the Brisbane Bears. And, gee, if there's ever been a side that's recruited well, it is the Brisbane Bears. Have a look at this for a lineup. Andrew Buse, a state player. Gilbert McAdam, of course, from St Kilda. Craig Lambert, another state player. Chris Scott, who comes in from the Eastern Rangers, a 17-year-old from Doncaster. And also Nigel Lappin from Chiltern there. And players who aren't going to be quite fit, Starcevic, Lynch and Lehman, all out for at least 1 or 2 weeks with various injuries. Now, Sam, this is a pretty good lineup now.
This is a pretty good lineup, and of course, Jason's written off Richmond as being a mover, but this could be one of the moving sides in the competition. Of course, they have a hell of an advantage because they play up at the Gabba every other week, and that is you got them by the throat for a start. Every other week.
Well, it will be 30 degrees this weekend down here in Melbourne. Let's have a look at the Sydney lineup. There's been a lot of criticism of their recruiting. This is the team that they're putting out. Peter Caven from Fitzroy, Matthew Armott from Norwood, who was a player who came from Darwin originally, plays in the centre, 183 centimetres. Brad Seymour there from the Wagga Tigers was recommended